It's Saturday afternoon in Costa Rica here at the Rythmia Life Advancement Center. I have the pure joy to be with you every Saturday, and it's another beautiful one here. The extra joy I have today is that this beautiful soul, Jody from New York, said yes to come sit on this couch with me. And I'm very grateful that she said yes, because a lot came up for her this week that we get to share with you. So thank you. Sit back and enjoy our conversation between the two of us. It's for you. All right, Jody, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So thank you for getting right here to be with me today. How are you feeling today?
Like I'm coming down, like I'm landing a little bit. It's been one heck of a ride.
Yes, it is one heck of a ride, but you wrote it out.
Yeah, I did.
If you were, this is just because you said there's one heck of a ride, from when you got on the ride to right now, how would you describe differences in you? What do you know about yourself now that maybe when you got on the ride of Rythmia, you didn't know?
Oh, I mean, I think I know I have a lot of self-awareness. I've done a lot of work on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think anybody coming here probably has. So I feel like I was coming into this with, I've done my research. I know I think I know what I'm getting into as much as you can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There's always some surprises.
Oh, there's a lot of surprises. I mean, actually, I had no idea what I was getting into. That's the funny thing.
And she's still here, so that's really good.
I know. I feel a lot lighter today than I did. I definitely feel clearer today. And that didn't come really until this morning, actually. What is today? Saturday? The last ceremony was Thursday night.
Yes.
And I just felt really untethered for a good period of time in there. Like I didn't know what everything that was coming at me meant. I didn't know how to piece it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been slowly coming. I think that the 9 hours of sleep last night also really, really helped. I feel lighter. I feel like I can, maybe it doesn't seem this way, but I feel like I'm able to articulate for the first time, which I really wasn't able to even bear. I felt like I couldn't even string sentences together for a little while there.
But you wrote it out all the way to know that this morning you had like an insight and understanding that even when you were feeling untethered, you didn't know what was going on, but you caught it.
Yeah.
There's so much there.
Yeah.
Of persistence, of patience, of being willing to ride it out when we can't see the immediate results till it's revealed.
Yeah.
So what did you catch this morning?
So I was in yoga class.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't need to analyze it that much, but I have a long-standing regular yoga practice, so it feels like home to me.
Mm-hmm.
It just the practice is a comfortable place, and it was. I never cried during ceremony, and I'm a big crier. I mean, I cry at TV commercials.
Mm-hmm.
I cry at everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that did not ever happen, and I thought it was very surprising to me. I didn't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I got into yoga class, it was like the waterworks just started. And he had us at the end of the class, we were all lying on our backs and holding hands with people.
Oh, yes.
And I had water pooling in my ears as I was crying so much. And it was just a moment of, I guess, really understanding that what I had come here for, that was feeling like a burden, and I was feeling a lot of being victimized and why me and angry and resentful and this isn't fair and I don't want to do this. Having a switch in my perspective about that to it feeling like a sacred duty.
Oh my goodness.
And that my entire life has prepared me for this.
That's a lot. Wow. To move from a perception of, because of circumstances, that I don't want to be here and being a victim, to that's a massively huge insight. And I just want to acknowledge you and thank you that even when you were untethered, that you still held on to catch it.
Yeah, and it was the accumulative, all of the ceremonies and then the breath work and then the yoga just, it's like it released something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've wanted that feeling. I've been striving for it, like this for so long.
Yes.
I'm a caretaker for somebody, and it's just really challenging. It's really challenging.
Thank you for giving yourself this week to come here and feed your soul. I can't catch enough, and I can't express it enough, because you just did it, is that we all get it at different times of Rythmia. Some of us have lots of tears in the middle of ceremony, lots of all sorts of feelings, anger, upset, confusion, insights, ahas, all sorts of things. But if we go in with thinking it has to be a certain way, we'll get caught. So your availability to just watch, I'm not crying. I usually cry. What's going on? And staying curious allowed yourself, like you could see, oh, it was cumulative. And can we all learn that in life, that it's all cumulative if we have the patience to keep going through it?
Yeah.
But you caught it. Did you say those words again? A sacred duty? Is that what you're saying? What did you just call it?
Yeah, that the job I have ahead of me, the role that I am in, feels sacred in a way that it has never felt before. And I feel fortified by that rather than depleted. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens when I go home. I think that the ongoing integration of this is going to be at least as important as the experience itself.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because as Meg was saying this morning, I think it was Meg, or somebody in one of the wonderful classes, and you know what, I was a little like, they have all these classes. I don't know if I want to take all these classes. I know everything. Honestly, that's probably what I was thinking. But the classes have been amazing. They've been really, really helpful.
Yes.
In making sense of things. And she had said, you're going to go home and you're going to greet the people at home are going to greet you as if you're the same person you were. And you're not, but I don't need to tell them that.
Correct.
I need to continue to live this.
Yes.
Yeah.
To stand in your awareness and live it in the presence of others.
Yeah.
We talked about that a lot yesterday in class as well, is that we always have that opportunity to live what we know instead of having to tell everyone what we know, to really stand in it and practice publicly who I am now because of our growing edge. And your expansion here is going to be who you are. And yes, that integration. What do you foresee is important in your integration? Because I find that when people do leave Rythmia, that piece is vitally important.
Yeah.
It's why we have our aftercare program. It's why we encourage everyone. So what are you going to take home that you're going to be integrating with?
So I know that writing is really important. And honestly, while I've been here, I've been unable to do any writing because I just haven't had the organizational thinking. But what I have done is I have voice memoed every single time after ceremony. Anytime I have a log of voice memos from the whole week, so that I will be able to use those and go back.
Beautiful.
And I was able, groggy, lying in bed, to just pick up and talk, whereas I couldn't possibly have written anything down.
Yes.
So that worked for me, and I plan to go through those and write. So journaling for me is often an artistic undertaking. I'll get my glitter gel pens out and with my voice memos, draw and transcribe. And I think that is going to be making that journal something that's sacred.
Yes.
For me.
Because it is.
Yeah.
And when we take the information and you're listening to it again and it's your voice, and then it's going to have a whole nother level where it sinks into you, into your cells. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant exercise in your integration. Now, I want to share with everyone that Jody's also an amazing breath facilitator. So how do you feel like you're going to have a shift in your breath work as a facilitator and
I can't wait to see what happens in my facilitation, particularly. I mean, my practice is steady and consistent, and I've learned different tools here. Every facilitator does things a little differently or a lot differently. And so I have more, I just have more that I can take in and use for myself. And I'm really excited to incorporate some of this into my own facilitation with my clients.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Are you going to come back and see us?
I don't know yet. It's very hard for me to say yes, because right now the thought of going through this again is like, there's no way. But I know my journey is not done.
Yeah.
So I can't answer that.
Great. That's all right.
Yeah.
Just a question to believe it right there and to contemplate.
Yeah.
But it's good you got here.
Yeah.
So you love the classes. You clearly had some massive aha breakthroughs in yoga from everything else. Is there anything that the food or cleanse, like spa?
I want to install a coconut water dispenser in my kitchen at home.
Isn't that? You're absolutely right. Just have the whole dispenser right
just
there.
so that I can fill up my water bottle
Oh, yes.
with coconut water. Oh, that was so good. And the food is just such a treat to be cared for in that way with this good food.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the preparation, today is Easter Saturday, tomorrow's Easter Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, knowing that I was coming here Easter week was very profound.
Mm-hmm.
And I used the whole period of Lent as my dieta preparation. So I had given up caffeine. Actually, I started giving up caffeine long before that because that was the hardest one for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had no alcohol. I've done all of the stepwise
to get ready to come.
And there were times before coming, the week before, where I was like, I feel so good now that I don't see going back. I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue with that as part of my integration for sure, because I feel so clear and clean.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Many people, and you mentioned it when you first sat down, state that the second you signed up for Rythmia, that you feel like, something shifted, your own inner ceremony began. Yeah. Could you speak to that with us?
Yeah. I really thought of it as and I signed up a while ago, just a few months ago. Mm-hmm. That it was like, okay, you're entering the portal now. And as it got closer and closer the last couple of weeks, there was a whole lot of stuff that started happening in my personal life, unexpected things and chaotic things. And I work with somebody who's an integration coach, calls that your threshold guardians. Your threshold guardians are when something is up, when you're ready to up level.
Yes.
They're going to throw stuff at you to see if are you really ready? You're really prepared for this? And as you know, the biggest final one that happened was I missed my flight, which I couldn't believe I did. And I would have loved to have blamed the airline, and it wasn't anybody's fault but my own. So I got here a day late, and I literally got here an hour before ceremony. I came and I went right into ceremony. But honest to God, that was part of the plan. This
is the most important thing. That was part of the
plan.
That
was part of the plan. That was Aya. That was ceremony. That was the hardest part of the ceremony, was sitting in that hotel room in Dallas overnight, having to DoorDash food because I couldn't get any decent food, and to not let it ruin everything.
That's a life lesson right
just
there.
Go with it. It's happening. You can choose to have a hissy fit, or you can choose to go with this. And it brought up issues for me when I did arrive of entering into a group that's already, the group was here and I felt like I was out here. It was like being a kid, and you move in the middle of the school year and everybody already has their friend groups. And so that was stuff I had to work through too.
And you mentioned to me before we started that there's elements of that in your life prior. So
this was definitely.
Which is what occurs. The things in our life that are to be healed, when we know I'm going to Rythmia to do my inner work, they do start coming up. What we call that is that when you're you're about to have a transformation, everything that could oppose it, question you, will come rising to the surface because you're about to break free. So it's the natural order that it comes up for you to look at it and be clear, like, I'm still going. And you got here and integrated in and learned what you were to learn, which, how beautiful is that you won't be carrying that home anymore.
Yeah.
That you are included.
Yeah.
That you aren't missing, that you're completely apart. So thank you, because that is really important for all of us to remember, that it starts working the second we say yes.
Yeah.
And really, for in life, the moment we say yes to whatever is before us, the universe is rising up to listen, respond to our yes. So you got yours.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Thank you for being courageous and keep breathing and practicing before you got here. What would you say to anyone who's on the fence and they're out there thinking, is it rythmia for me? What would you say to them?
I would say if you keep thinking about it, do it. I mean, if it's there and you can do it, and you can sign up and you don't have to commit to when you come, which is a really nice thing, right? If you
Yes.
can't, you want to come, you don't have to sign up for a certain date, so that's helpful.
But if you're thinking,
thinking about it, I mean, if it keeps bugging you, if it keeps coming up, do it. It's hard. It's really hard. It's really hard. Like, no fooling around. This may be one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Was it worth it?
But it was absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
The things that are challenging and hard in our life, a lot of them are very meaningful, and when we surrender to, I'm doing it no matter what, not based on if it's hard or if it's easy, I'm moving through because my soul is calling me to move through.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's all worth it. But the evolution of our soul has challenges. What are you thinking?
It just, this stuck feeling that I've had for around these circumstances in my life, that the victim feeling and the stuckness about it, that's harder. I mean, I feel like I've been living with that for a long time and trying everything under the sun to shift it, and nothing is shifting it. And this did. And again, I'm not home yet. We should have a follow-up.
We'll have a follow-up. We'll check it.
Yeah.
But good point.
Yeah.
Staying stuck is even harder than the process of moving through to release it.
Yeah.
And we can just surrender to what it is. It is. I want, lots of times I'll say to people, it doesn't matter if I'm messy. I want my transformation more than anything. So I'm aiming for my transformation, not based on if it's easy, hard, or if you look good getting it. It's just, I want freedom. And when we know we want freedom from pain, from victim mentality, from limited thinking, from anything that we've been stuck in, we can pull ourselves through the challenge to know, I'm aiming for freedom. I'm aiming for freedom. And we get here and you get your 9 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Oh man, was that blissful. Wow.
when you have a shortage of sleep for a while, all of a sudden Friday night comes, it's like, good rest.
Yeah.
And then you still have breath class tonight.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I thank you.
Thank you for
sharing
asking
this.
me.
It was my honor. It was my honor to see you in class. It was my honor that you're here. I'm thrilled. And thank you for what you bring to the world. I know it's going to even expand and you're going to be touching people in a whole deeper way.
I think so.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. Jump on the Rythmia train. Get here when you can. It's definitely a magical, brilliant, healing, sacred land. And we have some magical, beautiful, healing, sacred individuals that help you through the entire process. All right. I will see you soon. Have a happy, happy, wonderful holiday weekend. We're sending you lots of love.